Hi, I'm Tracy, VE3TWM. Thank you for tuning in to Outdoors on the Air. When Icom recently announced they were bringing to market a completely modern QRP transceiver, the shockwaves were felt across the ham radio world. This announcement followed up on Icom's smashing success with their IC-70300 base station transceiver. The 7300 is a phenomenon, probably the best-selling ham radio of the past 30 years. One look at the new IC-705's display, and it's easy to see the new low-power rig is closely related to its hugely popular sibling. With the 705's announcement, many 7300 users who may never have considered buying a QRP rig previously were immediately fascinated with their rig's little brother. In addition, QRP ops who don't own a 7300 have been blown away by the 705's inclusion of features never before found on a QRP rig. Given all this, the release of the 705 is a really terrific development for ham radio, as QRP and field operation are important aspects of our hobby. Be this as it may, I have decided I am not going to be an early adopter of the IC-705. In fact, even though my ham radio passion is QRP and portable operations, it's hard for me to imagine a scenario where I will purchase a 705 anytime over the next few years. I'm going to tell you why, but first, to be fair, let me give you an overview of what I believe to be the most significant features of the 705. The Icom IC-705 is absolutely loaded with amazing technology. Let's start off with the frequency coverage. The 705 will let you operate from 160 meters to 70 centimeters in all modes. This versatility is very useful in a portable setting. Note that unlike the vaunted but now aging Yaesu FT817, the receiver is wideband on VHF, allowing for reception of weather radio and utility signals. 500 memory channels are available, unlike a lot of previous DC to daylight portable rigs, which offer 200 or less channels. People who know QRP will also like the fact that the 705 outputs 10 watts if provided with a 12-volt power supply. Stated current draw on receive is as low as 500 milliamps, remarkably low for a rig with this much tech built into it. The full-color display is the same 4.3-inch size as the one found in the IC-7300. A lot of the modern technology found in the 7300 has made its way into the 705, including real-time spectrum scope, waterfall, and audio scope. The rig is compact and ruggedly built. A feature I really like is the fact you can pop in an HT battery pack that will run the rig at 5 watts for 3 hours. Let's also not forget the incredible Iaf filtering. Other notable features include D-Star, Bluetooth remote control, built-in GPS, a voice memory keyer, and an optional backpack. There's a lot more to list in regard to features, but I'll let you do the research on that. Now it's time to tell you why I am not rushing to buy an IC-705. I'm going to start off with the number one and most obvious reason. The Icom IC-705 is a very expensive QRP rig. At the time I shot this video, the 705 is selling for the same price as the 7300 base radio, and here in Canada, that amount is $1,800 Canadian, or at the current exchange rate, about $1,400 US dollars. In my estimation, that is an enormous amount of money to pay for a QRP rig. Now I understand that a brand of QRP radio favored by many is the Elecraft line, and they're not giving those away either. But I'm not alone when I say there is no way I am going to pay as much for a QRP portable rig when for the same money I could buy a very nice base transceiver. I might be able to justify that kind of money for a rig that will sit on my desk and be used every week, but no way can I do the same for a portable rig that will spend weeks at a time without being used. The math on the 705 isn't working for this cheap ham. Okay, I rattled on long enough about the price. Let's get to the second reason for not being interested in adding the 705 to my gear collection at this time. The 705 brings a lot of really cool, up-to-date functionality to the QRP enthusiast. But I already know I won't use most of those whiz-bang features when I go HF portable. Sure, I might dabble with a few of them when the rig is shiny and new, but what I want to do when I go HF portable is make contacts. I'll be picking up the mic and calling CQ POTA or trying to make contest contacts. I don't need all that fancy tech to do the things I have been doing with gear that is 20 years old. Call me a Luddite if you will, and maybe I am. But for what I do, a Yaesu FT817 or my aging IC-703 does what I need it to do. I never find myself out in the field wishing I had a real-time band scope. For me, the entire concept of HF portable is making the best out of what you have. Is the IC-705 going to add significantly to my contact total by virtue of its amazing feature set? For me, as a strictly single sideband op, no, it's not. Granted, the Iaf filtering could help a lot in crowded contest conditions. But with my older, less sophisticated rigs, turning down the RF gain and turning on the attenuator works pretty well to reduce close-in interference. For now, I am content to go portable with my aging gear and wring every last bit of capability out of it. Now for the third and final reason. I am going to predict the future for you. The reason I can do this is that I've seen a similar situation happen before. In the late 1990s, Yaesu introduced a radical new radio that offered capabilities never before seen in a QRP rig. The FT817 brought all band, all mode coverage to a form factor not much bigger than a paperback book. It was very expensive for its time, but in spite of its high price, many hams were attracted to it. The FT817 sold very well, and a legend was born. But two important things happened as the 817 market matured. Yaesu started dropping the price, and many of the hams who were early adopters of the cool new product learned they really weren't into QRP and portable operating after all. A lot of those folks complained about the low power, and an aftermarket for add-on amplifiers was born. We're already seeing a lot of 705 owners talking about getting an amp for the little rig. I'm not even going to mention about how silly that seems to me. Oh, I guess I just did. Anyway, that's how the used market for the 817 was born. I guarantee you we are going to see the same thing happen in the 705's future. Wait a while and you'll pay less for a new 705, and maybe a lot less on the used market. That's what I'm waiting for. So there you have it, my reasons for not rushing out to spend a big chunk of change on what is truly a groundbreaking new rig that has the potential to revolutionize portable ham radio. The Icom IC-705 train is going to provide a lot of hams with an amazing ride, but I'm not going to be jumping on at the first station. Thank you for watching. Now it's your turn. Get out of the shack, get outdoors, and get on the air. 73 from Tracy, VE3, TWM.